Now this question, write down the question. Give an account of emergence of a regional identity in India. Emergence of regional identity in India. What are the factors? What are the factors, okay, that have influenced India's inherent regional unity? Give an account of emergence of a regional identity in India. What are the factors that have influenced India's inherent regional unity? It can also be a 20 mark, but I will suggest this to be a 15 mark question. So 2.5 page may try finishing this answer. Don't go beyond this. Okay, now. So these are some of the important ones. Your regional identity, okay, and the factors responsible for inherent unity. So something like that answer on unity in diversity type of question. Unity in diversity type of question. Now see, you could start the answer by saying that India has been regionally distinct and unique in terms of setting and location, and within there are further divisions that create a regional distinct identities. Okay, what I'm saying is India has been itself as a country, it has been distinct. And that's how India has been a subcontinent. Okay, why? Because of its unique setting, because of its unique location. So this has been because of the Himalayas in the north. This has been because of the oceans and the seas on the three sides. So India as a region unique hai. Then I'm saying inside the country, there are further divisions that give, okay, lot of regions their distinct identity. Okay, that give the regions their distinct identity. These identities are each distinct in their cultural and physiographic landscapes. देखो मुझे geography लेके आना है. Okay, so wherever I have got those regions, each region is unique in terms of its cultural landscape, in terms of its physical landscape. So India अपने आप में unique है. Inside India there are divisions. These are also unique, and each of this is a distinct cultural landscape. Each of this is a different cultural and a physical landscape. Each has its own identity in terms of its cultural and physical landscape. Okay, so this is where I start off. So you can always expand if you want to expand in terms of cultures, in terms of ways of life, okay, in terms of practices, even in terms of the natural elements. Okay, that's done here. So now, so जो emergence, ये जो emergence of a regional identity. Now tell me, what is the single biggest reason why we have a regional identity? बताओ. The single biggest reason is that each unit has a very distinct physiography, physiography. And historically, there have been frontiers. There have been frontiers which were forest frontiers, which were climatic frontiers, which were mountain frontiers. Frontiers that separated each unit. The question क्या पूछ रहा है? What is the question asking? The question is asking, tell us, how did the regional identity emerge? शुरू कैसे हुआ बताओ? How did the regional identity start? What was the basis? हम ये पूछ रहे हैं. कैसे शुरू हुआ? कैसे बना? How do I know that I am Marathi different from people of Gujarat? शुरू कैसे हुआ? That I am from Maharashtra different from people in the northern plains. How are the people of the hills different from the people of the plains? Why the coastal regions are different from the highlands of the peninsula? शुरू कैसे हुआ? So I said, India. So how do I introduce? I said, India is a large country. It itself is a distinct subcontinent, but within it there are a lot of distinct regional identities also. And each of these identities we can see in terms of the cultural and the physical landscape. हर region का अपना cultural landscape है और physical landscape है. Introduction बना. Then I said कि emergence कैसे हुआ? Emergence primarily is that each unit has had a distinct physiography. And historically, each of these physiography were separated by the frontiers. The frontiers were forest frontiers. Frontiers were climatic frontiers. The frontiers were the mountain frontiers that separated each units. Okay, now see, exactly, very nice point, Prachi. Each of these regions were actually separated by some kind of antecedent boundaries. We did not have to separate them. ये पहले से separated थे more or less. Northern plains, okay, from MP. MP from Gujarat. Gujarat from Rajasthan. Rajasthan from hills and Punjab. Okay, the coastal regions separate from the hill regions and the plateau. The northeast alag tha. It was something historical, very nice. There has been antecedent boundaries along these frontiers. Along these. So when I draw the map, you'll understand what I mean by this. So look at this here. So if this is the map of India, I'll suggest all of you draw a good, neat map of India, please. Okay. So what we had was, this was one, okay, this, the plains, this, these were the regions, okay? So this was the northeastern hills. The northeastern hills, northern plains, and Assam. This was the dry western Rajasthan. This was Aravallis, the Vindhyas, the central hills and forests, the Tamil Nadu highlands, the western Ghats, the internal plateau, which includes even Maharashtra, parts of Telangana, ये एक highlands हो गया, ये एक highlands. These were the regions. These were the hills. Okay, so these are the distinct physiographic units that developed into regional units with their natural landscapes. You could draw this map. The distinct physiographic units that developed into regional units with their natural landscapes. Okay, likha aapne all of you? Likh liya aapne? Okay, now see. Now, the distinct regional divisions were demarcated by rivers. Number 2, coastal plains. Number 3, forests as frontiers. Number 4, by deserts and arid climate. Ab example though, let's see. Which units were influenced by rivers? Which regional unit became rivers? So in northern plains and Assam, they were because of the rivers. Coastal plains, Malabar, Kanara coast, we have the Konkan coast, we have the Coromandel coast, they became the regions. The forest frontiers, yes, central hills. Central hills. So Bastar, Jharkhand, parts of MP, they become the basis of one units. Desert arid regions, isme Kutch bana, isme Western Rajasthan bana. How did India's regions develop? Yes, absolutely, I agree. 5. Do add islands. Islands have developed, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep. They also have developed independently. Correct. Yes, forests mein Dandakaranya, absolutely. Each of these regions were based on the regional division. Iska best example hai the largest division, the largest regional division is the north-south distinction because of the Vindhyas. ये largest division है, the north-south. ये जो Vindhyas हैं, the Vindhyas have given up the. अच्छा, I forgot one here. यहाँ पर आपका बुंदेलखंड मालवा region भी है. So Vindhyas separate north and south. This is one basis of the divisions. देखा आपने all of you? Okay. Now based on this, I could now draw another map. In fact, this map can be with the previous map. Previous map mein, this is the Ahom region. The Ahom region. This becomes the hill regions. The hill regions of Dafla, Miri, Naga tribes. This is the northwest region. Ganga and Bihar plains. So you have got Magad plains. You have got Awadh plains. Vindhyas forested. So this part here, Malwa region. We have the Bundelkhand region. This is the Kutch and Kathiawad region. Okay, ये आपके forested regions हैं. This area here, this is called as Khandesh, the Khandesh region. You have to give the names of the regional units. Ahom region, Assam. Dafla, Miri, Mishmi, Naga Hills region. Then we have northwestern Kashmir and Ladakh region, hills mein. This is the Malwa, Bundelkhand region. This is the Kutch and Kathiawad region, Gujarat. These are the regions of western dry Rajasthan. ये खानदेश region हो गया. Okay, these are the ghats, the forested ghats, more like the frontier regions. We have the Maharashtra, Telangana. So what you have done is, in the previous map, you have shown the physiographic units. In this map, you name the regions. And you could use them side by side. I would recommend यही map बनाओ, इसी के साथ में the other map बना देना. These are the physiographic units and the associated regional units. Give the names. Okay, so this Tamil Highlands, this becomes the Tamil region, and so on. 4 or 5 examples are good enough here. You don't have to elaborate too much. Yes, Bihar plains में Magad बोल लो, Mithila बोल लो, Awadh plains बोल लो. Give names of the regions. Okay, this area, this is the Bengal belt. This becomes the Odisha belt. Do that, please. Okay, so the distinct divisions because of these features. The rivers are important. The mountains are important. You can add here. Next point is, each of these regions also have distinct racial okay, identity associated with early settlers and migrants. So India ka identity of regions is also because of its racial aspects, the physiographic aspects, the association, the frontiers, and now the racial aspects have also played a role. So broadly, okay, if you again draw the map of India, so regions के साथ में, so this is a region of Proto-Australoids. Okay, this is a region of Negritos. This region also is a region of Negritos. ये आपका Vindhyas हैं. Southern part of Vindhyas, most of these are Proto-Australoids and Mediterraneans identified with the Dravidians. This part, these are the Mongoloids. Okay, these are the Nordics, the Indo-Aryans, and these are also Indo-Aryans plus the Mediterraneans. Okay, so आपने क्या बताया? Physiographic units, what are the names of the regions, and what are the cultures associated? What are the cultures associated? Okay, or this, okay, the racial identity, okay, becomes the basis of ethnic identity too. It becomes the basis of ethnic identity too. So आपका Vindhyas is a major racial divide. On this side, Indo-Aryans. On this side, majorly Dravidians. Vindhyas become a major racial divide. The Indo-Aryans, the Nordics. Ethnicity is a bigger word that includes race. That includes races. Now finish off all of this in about 1.5 page. Don't go beyond 1.5 page for this. Introduction, 2-3 diagrams scattered. So if I conclude here, we say the emergence of regional identity starts with physiography. It is determined by frontiers and rivers. It has the elements of races and ethnicity and is also reflected in the language and the dialects. देखा आपने? The regional identity in India is the function of physiography. It is bordered by frontiers and river basins. Okay. It has the element of races and ethnic identity and is reflected in language and dialects also. Language and dialects also. And this is why we divide India into 12 linguistic provinces. We divide India into 12 linguistic provinces. So how has the regional identity evolved? कैसे emerge हुआ? Emerged because of physiography, the frontiers, the races, and the language, which is seen in the cultural and the linguistic regions of India. All good? Okay. Now you move on towards the next part. What is the basis of unity? Basis of unity is, एक तो है common language roots. So we have the Indo-Aryan language root, and we also have the commonality of the Dravidian language root. So this is the basis of unity. Language roots more or less common है. Again, Vindhyas बीच में है. Remember this, more or less. Indo-Aryan and the Dravidian languages, the four of them. ठीक है? Unity क्या है? Unity is also Hinduism. Starting from the Indus Valley civilization. So there is lot of cultural similarity. Okay. Plus what has happened is there has been influence. There has been pan-Indian influence of the medieval kingdoms. The impact in the architecture plus impact in the language and in the rise of Islam. This has also been the unifying aspects. So how does this impact? Across the states, we have Muslim populations. This also is a pan-Indian influence. But Hinduism and language is a major unity. Then we have unity in terms of our agriculture rhythm and the monsoons. So what are the distinct regions and how there is unity? Agricultural rhythm, our harvest cycles, our food, our festivals, monsoon cycle. This also unifies the regions of India. Linked to this is rivers. Okay, rivers also integrate. Anybody can give examples of how rivers integrate? The entire, yes, the Ganga plain is unified into one unit. because of the river Ganga. Okay, so you have Godavari unifying parts of Maharashtra and parts of Andhra and Telangana. Correct. You have Narmada unifying parts of central India and western India. Brahmaputra unifying the northeastern India. आपको पहले geographical exhaust करना है. Brahmaputra unifying, Ganga unifying, Narmada unifying, the monsoons unifying, and then you could have maybe one paragraph, ज़्यादा लिखना नहीं है. The unifying effect of nationalism associated with anti-British sentiments. This was also unifying. And finally, of course, the effect of our constitution, our administration, and our polity has also unified. But इसको आप एक साथ एक paragraph में रख देना. Don't go beyond this. Don't go too much beyond this. Now, in the modern times, what unites us is modern communications, modern transport, our policies that seek to unify. Think of single agriculture market. Okay, think of single banking system. Think of trying to unify in terms of our education reforms. But देखो, इसमें hardcore geography थोड़ा कम है. Do not elaborate too much here. But let these be as a part of our answer.